The officer knew the house was odd. Someone died here days before, yet he moved in, only to find he's a noisy guy. The man rushed to apologize, saying they are neighbors now, but Jinya angrily demanded why the TV was so loud. The guy promised to check it out, but Jinya didn't want to waste time chit-chatting. He just wanted him to hurry up. At work, Sujin told Jinya he had this constant buzzing in his ears, like some prankster was messing with him, even dreaming of the beeping. He knew it might be from nerves, but didn't ask further, not his issue, and Sujin was used to his coldness. It was like talking to himself. The client claiming to be a time traveler called again, and Sujin repeated what Jinya had said. Jinya was somewhat satisfied with that, but then Sujin suddenly asked the client, "Is it about the Grand Luck World Champion? The world champ? I think that's interesting." The client started describing the grand scene back then. It left a lasting impression on him, but it seemed like he was the only one stuck in that moment. Everyone else had moved on with their boring lives. He wished to return to that day. Sujin and the client, both passionate, were trapped in mundane life's vortex. Clearly, their lives were the exact opposite of Jinya's, and watching his father in that dull scene on the monitor, Jinya was used to it. His father was collecting friends like Pokemon. They often gathered to have a good time, and Jinya noticed his father's spirits were up when suddenly the doorbell rang. New neighbor alert. He told Jinya the moving crew accidentally knocked a wire loose, and had get someone to fix it tomorrow. Please bear with it for one more night. Jinya hurried to shut the door, but the guy was a bit slow on the uptake, and said he had no friends around, and wanted some company. Then Jinya's blood boiled when he saw the guy pull out an ashtray. It was the same one his late neighbor used. Jinya recalled countless times passing his neighbor, smoking in the hallway, evoking memories of his own unstable period. It clearly wasn't a nice memory for Jinya, and he slammed the door, returning to his room to huddle over the monitor. On the monitor, his father laughed like a kid with friends, cursed up to a woman, upsetting Jinya. A few days ago, he was still reminiscing about his mother, but now he's cozying up to another woman. However, Jinya didn't call to question his father, as he was unwilling to easily show his emotions. Next day at the office, he found Sujin absent without reason, just a month in. Clearly she didn't want to continue. Jinya felt oddly disappointed. Though he didn't care much, Sujin was his first workmate. His sudden exit felt like a waste of his energy, so he tossed out everything he could find. That was the best way he could think of to vent. Then he sat down to work, only to have that buzzing return while he was on the phone. "Oh no, really? It can't be. We've got to wait for 23 minutes. Wait. Stop. If it's going to be like this, just quit. These kids are no joke. Call the cops now and repeat that name over there." "What was that name again?" 23 minutes. I said, please stop talking. Step coffee. I said cut it out. 4,200. Miss, are you ignoring me? November. Can you hear me? Stop. The client hung up in anger. What flashed in Jinya's mind was seeing his father laughing, which was really what troubled him the most. He couldn't forgive his father's merriment, went outside, called and questioned his dad's happiness. It was noisy on his dad's end. He could barely hear what Jinya was saying. "You have to say sorry to me. I made a mistake. Mom, say to me that you're sorry." Over the years, Jinya had a lot of resentment towards his father. His rise to happiness had cost Jinya his warm family. He even lost his chance to be carefree since he had to bury his feelings to avoid getting hurt. Subtitles. If he had been blessed with a happy and harmonious family where his parents offered their support, how could he have ended up like this now? Jinya dialed his dad again, but it was off. A wave of helplessness washed over him. He had no outlet for his emotions, so he squatted on the stairs, crying until night fell, then finally trudged home. He walked alone on the street, the crowd ignoring him, making his presence feel extremely lonely. When he got home, he found friends holding a grand ceremony for the tragic tenant who had passed, hoping he'd find peace soon. This scene made Jinya think he could at least do something meaningful at home. Even a dead man can sense human warmth, yet, as a living person, he feels ignored, like abandoned by the world. More solitary than death. He couldn't wrap his head around it until he turned and thought he saw the former tenant. He came to realize that perhaps he had isolated himself for an excessively long period, which had shaped him into who he was now. He showed resistance to the world and gradually lost the bravery to confront life. He wanted to talk to someone and flipped through his phone, but couldn't find anyone to call. Finally, he dialed Sujin's number. Before he could say much, Sujin was already apologizing.